Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Wednesday! It is Whatever Wednesday. That's right. Usually it's Self-Care Wednesday. Today it's Whatever Wednesday. So I have the Affirmators deck today. Dun, 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 dun. And, I'm deciding, you know what? We haven't done in a long time? That's right. This bad boy. Just to, like I said, we have the Affirmators, but to start off, the Rebel deck. The Rebel deck. These are like my box of sweary affirmations. Or sweary guidance, I should say. These are fun, though, because on one side they have one thing, and on the other they have something. Oops, they have the follow-up to that thought. I'll tell you. So for anybody trying to pop on live, I apologize for being late. I was just taking my sweet ass time this morning, but which is funny because I have a lot to do. But oh god, I got some good sleep last night. I'm so excited. Look at that, 2 cards so far. Let's see if we can get a third one. There we go. All right. So, again, we have the Rebel deck, the Oracle with Attitude. 0 filter plus 0 fucks. All fun. Equals all fun. So, this one. Oh, God, I love this. I love this deck. It says, Rebel deck messages are quick, dirty, and direct. I don't know why you call it dirty. I mean, come on. We gave the ancient art of divination a modern makeover and added a little insult to insight. This deck is rebellious, foul-mouthed, and raw. Ask the cards what you need to know right now. These messages will tell it like it is. No interpretation needed. Yeah, I don't think they're dirty or they're direct. I mean, they're like if someone's telling you, like for instance this card, right? You think someone is lying. They are, but that's not always the case. Okay, but if you're asking, if you're asking, saying, is so-and-so lying to me? And someone might be, you may ask a friend, well, do you think they're lying to me? Well, yes, but, you have to decide that for yourself. Oh, no, they're not lying to me. But then you ask this card and they're literally going, yes, they are. So, oh, you can see why I love these cards. But yeah, I mean, that's just an example. Use your spidey instincts. I think that's the best way to tell if someone's being honest with you. Use your spidey instincts, A lot of times we want to give people the benefit of the doubt. That doesn't mean you have to walk away, but just, call them out on their shit. Because most times people are lying because either they don't want to hurt your feelings or they've done something and they don't want you to know. And I have always thought honesty is the best policy. You know what? Don't be a douche. Just be honest, okay? So... It's not everyone else's fault. It's yours. You are a grown-ass adult. Stop blaming others for your shit. I love this deck. Oh my god. It's not everyone else's fault. It's yours. So stop. You are a grown-ass adult. Stop blaming others for your shit. Now, this is regular stuff. I'm not talking about trauma. Maybe you suffered trauma. Maybe you were the victim of something. That is their fault. And that shame belongs to them. But you are in charge of your healing. You are in charge of you getting better. You are in charge of making yourself feel good about yourself. Don't put your worth in someone else's hands. You need to love you first and foremost. All right. Number 2, get over yourself. Pull your shit together. Help people give back. Do good shit for humanity. Pull yourself together. Do good shit for humanity. All right? So this morning, Sibling and I were watching the morning news. And, God, my bangs are just right at this place where they're not long enough to stay behind my ears, but they're long enough to be in my way. But, anyways... Before I read this, we were watching the news this morning, which isn't funny because it was actually pretty bad. All right. But these guys, were, robbed someplace and they were trying to get away. Then they hit an innocent, car and 2 people died. But they showed this person sitting in the back seat and they kind of see the camera on them. Then they kind of look away. And then they show this other guy that sees the camera. Then he looks away, the bad guys. And I looked at her and I said, do you think they're questioning their life choices right now? Because they really look like they're questioning their life choices, because not only did they rob someplace, but now it's potential, manslaughter. Okay, it's potential manslaughter. I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't even know if that's going to be the charges, but from the very few criminal courses in school that I took, yeah. But I mean, that's somebody's death on your hand, on your heads. So the card is, now I don't mean to make light of this, but this card is going to make me laugh. Make better fucking choices. If it doesn't seem like a good idea, do not do it. We always think there's an easy way out of something. We always say, I'll quit after this time, or I'll stop after this time, and you don't because someone talks you into it. Make better fucking choices. All right? This is what I'm telling you. Now, chances are if you're watching this, you've probably made decent choices in your life, but this could mean anything. Set your boundaries if you have to. Stop giving in to people if it doesn't feel right to you, or letting people have their way all the time and never speaking up for yourself. Make better choices. If you are pissed at where you are, then stop taking yourself there. That one might be for me too. I need to make better fucking choices. Because some of my choices in life have been questionable. But I will say this. Recently, I would not say that about myself. They may have seemed that way, but everything has led me up to the moment where I'm at now. Everything has led me up to exactly where I'm at now, and I'm exactly where I need to be. So I chose to make better choices. I chose to stop taking myself there. I chose to get over myself and pull my shit together. And I chose to take accountability and realize that even though things have happened to me, not everything is someone else's fault. The bad things that happened to me was someone else's fault. But the choices I made after that were my choice. And sometimes we don't feel like we have that choice. But the best choice I ever made, which, I will continually work until the day I die to end the stigma of mental health. Because the best choice I ever made for myself was getting help, was listening to older sibling finally and acknowledging I have a dinged up mental health and getting help for it. We have to make those choices. Sometimes they're the hard choices. Sometimes they're not the popular choices. People might question your choices, but you always have to do what's best for you. Because we have to have self-care in order to take care of other people. Okay? So, today's card. Older siblings chuckling at me because she knows. She's probably like, I told you. And that's the really cool thing about older siblings. She's not an I told you so kind of person. She's really not. I am. I admit it. Not all the time. I used to be really bad at it. Like, I legit used to be really bad at it. Now it's just kind of like when people fight me on something and I know I'm right and they prove I'm right, I will prove I'm right. I will let you know. It's like, look, you know what? There are some things I just know. I don't know everything. And I will say the majority of the I told you so's I've gotten, I've deserved. 99.9% of them. But, okay, well, 100% of them. Just still trying to make myself seem like I'm in a better position than I really am. But, yeah, I'm... Oh my God. Oh my God, seriously. Who got me started on all this? I have been in the giggles. I've had the giggles. But, there's nothing wrong. I love the giggles, right? I mean, it's so long since I really giggled or laughed. I mean, like, genuinely, right? But, anyways, today's card. Okay, and this is funny, okay? Don't take it personally. And there's a duck in a hoodie. But not only is there a duck in a hoodie, there's a duck in a camouflage or in a hoodie carrying a camouflage bag, which is basically to me saying, hey, I'm being hunted, but I better not take it personally. I told you, these cards are snarky. So anyways, if someone starts to speak unkindly to me, I'll remember that they've got something going on that has nothing to do with me. Like maybe they just pooped their pants. Yes, that's probably it. This is the world's shortest message. And it makes so much sense. So again, don't take it personally. If someone starts to speak to me unkindly, I'll remember that they've got something going on that has nothing to do with me. Like maybe they just pooped their pants. Yes, that's probably it. Now, here's the thing. People may, if you're just sitting there and someone comes in the door and they're in a huff and all you do is look at them and they just go off on you, it is probably something else. And they probably either cannot admit that it's something else, don't want to admit that it's something else, or have no idea what's really bothering them. So they're going to take it out on somebody familiar because 9 times out of 10, right, we're going to forgive them. We're going to forgive that person. Now, sometimes this is a hurt person hurting people. I've been very, very transparent on the fact that I used to be one of those people, hurt people. And sometimes I get into a dark place and I catch myself. Sometimes I don't catch myself till after I've done it or immediately after I've done it. I catch myself a lot quicker now. Sometimes I catch myself going like, well, I'm about to lose my shit for something that's not even what the problem is. This is why it's good to be honest. Remember when it says you think someone is lying? They are. And like I said, it's not always about these big things. Sometimes it's just like, well, maybe someone has a bad day at work, right? They had a fight with somebody and maybe it's their fault. Maybe it's not their fault. Maybe it's both of their faults. And they don't want to say anything because maybe they're embarrassed, right? So they come home and maybe everything worked out at work and they're fine, but maybe they're still shouldering all this guilt, right? All this shame from whatever happened. And they're going to sit there and go, oh, nothing. And then you're going to be like, well, I know something's wrong. And you're going to pull teeth until they finally say something, or you're going to pull teeth until they just, unleash on you for absolutely no good reason and come up with 5 million things that you've done wrong 15 years ago. I've done that. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. And I know that you see me giggling and I know that you see me laughing, but you know what? I'm not proud of that behavior. But the reason I'm laughing is because I'm thinking in my head, wouldn't it have just been better if I just confronted my feelings, I identified it, acknowledged it, felt it, and healed it? It's just like Sibling and I were watching the show Mom. Yeah, I love Mom. Mom was a great show. It's off the air now. It's been off the air for about 2 years, 2.5 years. And it was the very last episode of the series. And there are these 2 women that are supposed to kind of represent where the show actually started, with a mom and daughter who are constantly at each other's throats. Both are recovering addicts or both in the process of becoming recovering addicts. And they're just, the one girl says, well, I don't want you guys have no idea what I've been through. You have no idea. You guys are just like, oh, sunshine and roses, right? But then she starts naming all this stuff off, and each one of them at the table, I mean, it's almost like a game, right? It's like, oh yeah, I remember that. One of them says, oh, I have to sit this one out because my mom was great. And then the other ones, oh no, I'm back in now. It's just, they show the progress that people make when we choose to take accountability for our actions, when we choose to not take things personally, when we choose to see that someone might be in pain and that it's not about us. They're just potentially taking it out on us because they have no one else to take it out on. And that doesn't make it right. It doesn't. Because what this person needs to do is take accountability for themselves. Nobody fixed me. I was led to the water and I had to choose to drink it. Not the Kool-Aid, guys. Like leading a horse to water. And no, I'm not a horse. But like leading a horse to water. What's the saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Right? And that's kind of like us. People can lead you to the gates of your promised land. But they can't force you to walk through it. They can give you the keys to your promised land, which are the tools to survive and to make it through all the stuff wandering around in your head like a lost caravan. But they can't make you unlock the gates. We are in charge of that. We are in charge of taking accountability for our actions. We may be so tense and so crazed that, we want to sit there and just take it out on somebody else because we can't face our anger. We can't face this emotion. And sometimes people don't even realize that that's what it is. Because we push things down, we push things down, and we push things down. And what do I always say? It comes back up, right? Like I used to push things down until the point where Mount Vesuvius erupted. And yes, I'm saying that right because my first name is Shelley Marie. Vesuvius, not Vesuvius, Vesuvius. Just for clarification, because I'm waiting for someone to go, that's not the name of the volcano. There's always that one person, right, that watches a video but pays zero attention to what you're actually saying. So, they're on their phone. I do that sometimes. And then I sit there and go, why do I have to keep rewinding in this? It's like, oh yeah, dumbass, put your phone down. So, I'm not calling you, I'm saying me. But yeah, the shoe fits. I know the Aloha perspective is meant to be in love and to go in love. It's meant to go in Aloha, which is a lot of, it encompasses so many feelings. It's a feeling, right? But I am also going to be very direct. I am going to be these rebel cards. I'm going to be direct because I have to tell you, it's that directness that saved my life. It's that directness with people saying, hey, dumbass. Well, okay, older sibling never said that, but to me, when I was going through my own stuff and acknowledging the shame and the guilt that I felt because of what my actions may have done to hurt somebody else, that's how I would come to me. I would have my own come to Jesus's with myself, and sometimes it's what we have to do. The hardest thing in this world is to take accountability. And it's because, people don't like to admit they're wrong. Once we can admit they're wrong, ourselves wrong, they're wrong. See, Freudian slip, right? Everybody else is wrong but me. I'm always right. Not. In my mind, maybe, sometimes. But even I'm smart enough to know that's not the case. But we're not always going to be right. We're not perfect. We're perfectly imperfect human beings. We're going to have good days. We're going to have bad days. I've had really good days. And sometimes they're followed by me going, oh my God, I can't. And I have to decide if I'm able to push forward or if I'm not able to push forward. I had that last week. At some point during one of the shows, I'm all like, on Friday, I was just like, I can't do this. But then I thought, is it I can't do this because I can't push forward? Or is it I can't do this because I'm spiraling? Or I'm just having a funky kind of depressive day? And I realized it wasn't a funky kind of depressive day. I was in the middle and going, you know what? I'm going to push through and I'm going to be okay. I'm not going to let myself spiral. And I think that if I had made the choice to not do the show that day, I would have spiraled. I would have given in. Sometimes we have to ride that tide and we have to just put everything aside in order to do that. And that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't make you a bad person. It means you're doing everything you can to keep yourself in a good place. And that's important. That's self-care. But there are going to be those people who are going to sit there and go, oh, you're wrong, you're stupid, you're dumb, blah, blah, blah. Don't take it personally. When people are judging you, I would say the majority of the time, if they're not an asshole anyway, they're just hurting. There's so much pain coming from somewhere and they don't know where to put it. So they're going to put it in your lap and they're going to take you down with them. And there are people who have enough of that and just say, you know what, I'm out because I'm not dealing with you anymore. And there are some people who say, you know what, I will stay here and I will be here for you, but things better start changing because, I'm not going to put up with this much longer. And that's when we really have to decide. Now, I am fortunate. Sibling never gave up on me, but I think she knew there was potential. She was like the sculptor and I was like this piece of rough marble, but she saw the potential in me and she never quit on me. There were a lot of people around me that just kind of like, even my parents at some point says, I don't know how you put up with her sometimes because she can be into Laura. And Laura was like, no, like she's come a long way and she's a really good person. And, I try to tell them I'm not the same person I used to be. Well, we'll see about that. But that's because that's the bed I made and that's the bed I have to lie in. Because when you have a certain behavior for so long, people get used to it and they just start dismissing you until they see the actions. Or you have someone kind enough like I do to say, no, I'm telling you, she's so much better now. She's really been working on this. And I have been. And the hardest thing I had to do was to not take other people's opinions personally. Because sometimes we'll just sit there and go, fine, if that's who they think I am, I'll just be that person. No. The way we get better is by not worrying about what other people say. Do not put your worth in someone else's hands. Your worth needs to be in your hands. And by doing that, we can't always take personally what other people say. You know, whether it's at us or whether it's to hurt us. Because I'm telling you right now, people that sit there and spew things at you that you know in your heart is a good person, they're going to be hurting after they realize what they've said. And sometimes there's that blind rage, right? Where they don't remember. And I think the reason people don't always remember in blind rage, in my personal opinion, because I've had those, not physical, but verbal, is because there's so much shame attached to that. There's so much shame and guilt that they just don't want to think like, oh my God, was that me? How could that be me? Because, you know, like 99% of the time I'm this really cool person, and all of a sudden, you know, all my shit from the past comes up and poof, it just explodes out on everybody else. It's like being slimed by Slimer in Ghostbusters. You know, it's gross, it's icky, and it's sticky, and it's just like, well. But that's what we're leaving, that residue on people. That energetic residue. And then when they come around you, they may not recognize that you're vibing on a different level because they're just going to, you know, poof out this energy that you left with them the last time. So, you know, if someone speaks unkindly to you, don't take it personally. Because like I said, that person has got some issues. All right. I don't know what their issues are, but they've got some issues. You can try to help them if you want, or you can ignore it and say, you know what, excuse me, I have something to do over here. And if they were all, why are you leaving? It's like, because I'm not going to sit here and let you talk to me like this. Either talk to me and tell me what's going on with you, even if you don't have a clear vision on why you're angry right now, or I'm walking away. Because sometimes that's what it takes to snap them out of it. And sometimes it may not. You have to be careful when you do that. I wouldn't turn my back on them, and I'm being honest. Just back up to a safe place and just like, I'm out. I'm out. You got to take care of yourself too. You got to make sure you are in a safe spot, because sometimes blind rage can go physical. Like I said, mine was always verbal, except for the muffin incident. Yes, a chocolate muffin. But story for another day. But a chocolate muffin. And but every other time it was all verbal. So let's just say I got a really good arm for throwing baseballs and chocolate muffins. So anyway, like I said, story for another day. So I'm going to read this one last time. Now, if it might feel like I veered off in a whole different direction when it comes to this, you know, don't take it personally. But to be perfectly honest with you, I think it all fits together. Because when we take things personally, it can send us off in the wrong direction. If we take things personally, you know, and we react angrily, it's not going to help that other person. You know, sometimes they do need that space. Sometimes they do need that breathing room. But you also deserve to set those boundaries. All right? Like this duck, for instance. I always want to sit there and go, hey, ducks, it's hunting season. Be gone. Fly away. Don't let them get you. So, you know, but for the most part, when people are duck hunting, they do stuff with the duck. All right. They do eat it. So and I'm sure they use the feathers for something, but you know, I know for all the animal lovers, I am an animal lover, but I admit I love my meat. I don't like duck, but the only ducks I like are the ones that skate on the ice, my favorite hockey teams. But you know, and ducks are so cute. They are. I mean, with the little feet waddling through, following their mamas. I know. But no, that's not why I don't eat them. I just don't like it. But yeah, I'm the kind of person that if you use everything, then good for you. But I know, I admit it. I am a meat eater. And ironically, one of my favorite animals is the cow. I know, right? My whole saying to make me feel better is they're cute and they taste good too. I know, it's terrible. But, oh, that's life, right? Life is very ironic. So, but yeah, just don't take things personally, okay? So if someone starts to speak to me unkindly, I'll remember that they've got something going on that has nothing to do with me. All right? If it does have to do with you and you're taking it personally, think about why they might be saying these things. All right? Maybe the way they're saying it is not the appropriate way to say it. Maybe the way they're saying it could be said kinder and nicer. But whatever the case is, do not take it personally, all right? If you need to fix something about yourself, then do it. Taking accountability, admitting our mistakes are the biggest steps we will take in our personal healing. And it will allow us to follow this phrase, which again, older sibling taught me a long time ago. What other people think of me is none of my business. You may think it's your business. Are you all up in my business? No. You may think it's your business, but it's not, because that's their insecurity. That's their issue. And the less that you feed into that, the more power you take away from them. Especially when it comes to whatever interactions you two may have. So one last time, if someone starts to speak unkindly to me, I'll remember that they've got something going on that has nothing to do with me. All right? I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I will see you back here next Monday. Next Monday on the, what is it, the 27th? Monday the 27th. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving here in the United States. And Friday is, I don't do Black Friday, but Friday is the day that my family also gets together. We do bowling, we go have fun, we all do stuff. But also because it's the day after Thanksgiving, and I'll probably be rolling myself out the door because, oh yeah, it's feast time. I'm going to sleep in on Friday. So, enjoy. Okay, enjoy your weekend. If you are not in the United States or you do not observe the holiday, which some people don't, it's okay. I personally look at it as just a time when the majority of my family is all together, including baby sibling and her crew coming out from Arizona. So it's a big time for all of my cousins to be together on my dad's side, and it's an exciting time for me to be able to see them all. So because we're also busy during the year that we usually don't get to see each other, and we have some other family from Maui and also a different part of Arizona. So I'm super duper excited to be with my peeps. And so yeah, just enjoy yourselves. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Have a safe rest of the week. Okay. And please take care of yourselves. Again, normally this is Self-Care Wednesday, so think about this. Think about what I've said today, okay? Have a great day, and I will see you next Monday.